Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. As I sit here in Germany in complete exit lock and lockdown, I was thinking I was thinking about all that which is going on around us. People are so much in fear and the world is really in turmoil. I was thinking about how to really take the most benefit from these very difficult times which we're living in now. And first of all, my heart goes out to all the people who suffer so much, and I hope that everybody can stay inside and is safe. And I was thinking, how can we do as devotees? How can we do the best from this time of isolation and on exit, lockdown, and curfew, which is now also here in our city, which we cannot go to public places, so we stay all inside. So I was thinking, what is the proper way and the best way to focus in this really difficult times? And I thought the best way in this time is to go deep inside of us, and we use use our time and focus our time on Nam-Bhajan. We chant as much as we can, and we chant with as much focus as we can, because the holy name which is given to us by our Gurudev is the most powerful instrument, the most powerful method to really be free from fear and to be peaceful and to do all these things in a peaceful manner, not to be disturbed in the mind too much. I have to admit, when I was in school and it was the time was coming to close the school, and it was all about the virus and the anxiety and the sorrow. So I made myself a vow that I will not touch any mobile phone or iPad or something like that in the morning time, and until 10-11 o'clock, and I check it shortly and I go out again, so that I'm informed. But I really made myself a promise not to go into this in the morning time, but instead to much deeper focus on bhajan, especially on Nama-Bhajan, because the holy name is not different from Krishna, and it has so much power that we will not dive into this fear which is spread all around us. The fear is there and it's realistic, I know it, but we have, as individuals, we can counteract that fear by going very deep into Nam-Bhajan. The name of the Lord is the most powerful instrument given to us. We are so fortunate that we can have this really powerful method of self-realization, with everything there is, Shravana, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all the 9 ways of bhakti. The most powerful was always, for me personally, was the chanting of the holy names. There is this one very beautiful verse which really establishes that truth in Shikshastakam verse 2. Nam Makari Bahuda Niva Nicha Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpitani Amitas Marena Kalaha Hitatrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Tordaivam Itrisham Ihachani Nanugaraha. O Lord, you have given us many names of yours to chant, investing them with all your transcendental power, and there are no strict regulations as to when to chant or remember these names. Such is your mercy. O Lord, but I am so unfortunate that I have no taste for this chanting. So in this verse, Mahaprabhu is saying, he's playing the role as a sadhaka, and he's giving many wonderful points. In the holy name, the Lord has eternally invested all powers, not like in a material name, but like Coca-Cola, it will not bring you Coca-Cola, but the holy name is eternally invested with all the power of the Lord to save us and to help us realize our eternal form. There are no regulations, rules and regulations as to when to chant or to remember these names. We can do it all the time. We can do it everywhere. We can do it in the mind. We can do it on our mala. We can do it loudly. We can sing it. So this is the most powerful weapon, I want to say, against all this fear around us. And you will see that I have not realized much, but I realize that when I go deep into Nama-Bhajan, I become much more peaceful. The mind is not agitated, and you can more clearly react to everything which is coming to you. And one thing is very crystal clear: the moment you chant, you utter the syllables, you are in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of God and with Radhika, with Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, because they are in that name, they are that name. We are completely connected. I don't see them, I don't hear them right now, but I know and I feel that we are connected via this gateway of the holy name to the Supreme Personality of God, to Krishna and Radha. We are connected really at that moment when we utter these names. There is no difference between Nama and Nami, as I will tell you later. There are so wonderful quotes. So we have to be assured, and we have to have big faith, Nishta, that the holy name, when we chant it, we are actually stepping out of all material circumstances and surroundings, and at that moment we are really in divine communion, you can say, with the Lord and with Radhika. Both you can see in the holy name, and they are there and they spread their mercy to you, and especially now by the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu we can really dive deep into this Nama-Bhajan, and it will free us from fear. Nama makes you abhaya. One quality of Krishna is abhaya. There is no fear. So whenever we have time, whenever we can do it, especially in the morning time, we should really focus on going deep into Nama-Bhajan. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he quotes the Padma Purana, and he says, Yathastatraiva nama chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatvam Nama Namino. It is said also in the Padma Purana, the name of the Lord fulfills all desires like a chintamani. It is the very form of Krishna. It is full of consciousness and rasa. It is completely pure and eternally liberated. This is because of the non-difference of the name and Krishna. So we should be rest assured that we can be at whatever stage, whatever adhikar we are, the moment we utter Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we are in direct contact with Krishna, and he promises to Arjuna he will never let us perish. He says we purchase him. He says, by singing my names, a person will attain a position close to me. I make that promise. Krishna says that, and he promises us that by singing his names, because he is not different from his name, we will always be close to him. And this, sometimes, I must admit, I sometimes don't pay attention to this fact that actually when I chant the holy name, I am in close contact with him. And sometimes we do many other things, looking at the smartphone, looking at iPad, WhatsApp, but actually it's inattentive chanting. It is not nice. But now in this really difficult time, most beneficial it is to just let everything go and just sit down in the morning as long as you can, according to our adhikar, and chant as much you can the holy names of the Lord. It is so powerful, and it brings the peace that we really want. Jiva Goswami is elaborating on that beautiful verse Rupa Goswami quoted. He says, the name is called Chintamani because it bestows all things a person may desire, but we desire only prema. That is our only desire. We desire to realize ourselves and to attain Siddha Swarup, the Siddha, perfect Siddha, the Siddha Swarup, and attain perfection, Swarupa Siddhi. This is our only desire. And of course, bhakti, one symptom of bhakti is the pain, and all the misery goes away by itself. We don't have to meditate now. Oh God, please free me from this, free me from that. When we chant Nam, when we go into Nam-Bhajan, automatically, bhakti brings that automatically the misery goes more and more, goes away. And bliss and happiness augments, goes up. This is what bhakti makes. The misery goes down and happiness goes up. So we don't have to pray, oh please free me from the misery. We pray, please, when can I realize my identity? When can I realize my form? So Jiva Goswami is saying, other words describe Krishna, but the name is the same as Krishna because it is non-different from him. The meaning here is that the one tattva of eternity, knowledge, bliss and rasa appears in two forms, nama and rupa. If one is particularly inquisitive, one can consult the chapter on Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Sandarbha. So Jiva Goswami also strengthened that point of this oneness between Nama and Nami. So whenever we speak the name, whenever we utter and hear the name, we are in close contact with the one who has that name, which is Krishna or Radha, whatever name we can. We can chant the whole day different names, but as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we chant the Maha Mantra, and we have here Radha and Krishna. They are both there, Hare and Krishna, and all these beautiful, beautiful, powerful names. So we should really, really focus on that point which is given to us, and now by the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu, we have so much mercy is there. Nityananda, Lord Gaunitai, so much mercy is there to find solely in Nama-Bhajan, because Mahaprabhu made it so easy that we can just dive into that beautiful Nama-Bhajan. Every day we can see the effects of when we focus on the chanting of the holy name. The day is beautiful. If we don't focus on the chanting of the holy name, then the day is not very powerful. So for me personally, all depends on Nama-Bhajan, and especially in these really, really heavy times, the only thing I can do for myself is go deep into Nama-Bhajan, and we can do this according to our stage of consciousness. So in the beginning we may think, okay, I chant now. How to chant is a very important question. How to chant? According to Adhika, we can chant as a soul consciousness. We chant, okay, Hare Krishna, we chant and we think about that we are a soul. We are not this body. This is the first step. We are not this body, we are the soul, and we are now trying to go in direct communion with Krishna as a soul. The more we go on in our journey, towards the goal, we realize that we want a relationship with Krishna. So we figure out by hearing about the Lord Krishna. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Raga Mahatma Chandrika, about hearing. Hearing makes you greedy. Hearing about the Lord's pastime in Vrindavan, you become greedy to be there also and to hear about these pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So we can slowly we can develop this soul chanting as a soul. We can think, yes, what is my soul? Who am I? What do I want to be in relationship to Krishna? What is my personal relationship with him? So this changes then, and when we chant with this possessiveness that I want to be a friend of Krishna, I want to be a parent of Krishna, I want to be a lover of Krishna. So as time goes by, as we progress, this becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. And so we can sit down and we move from I am a soul, we can move from I want to be like that. So, and by the grace of Mahaprabhu, we can also see another thing, that we can now also be very, very close to the one Krishna loves. We can become very, very close to Srimati Radhika as a manjari. So we can chant the holy name and we can identify ourselves as that person who I want to be eternally. So this is also the next step when we come from soul consciousness into Svarupa consciousness, and we understand and we want to be someone in direct relationship with Krishna. As a manjari, as manjari bhav sadhakas, we identify or we see ourselves in a love to Krishna, but not a direct love to Krishna, but we see him as the lover of our Swamini. So Krishna is the most attractive person. Radhika loves him the most, and we are, as manjaris, we see ourselves always together with Radhika, enabling them to meet, that they always can meet. So this comes slowly and slowly. We can read about the pastimes, we can read one verse, and we can chant about the verse, for example, of Radha Rasa Sudanidhi, Vilapakusa Manjali, Utkalika Valari, about the pastimes of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. We can close our eyes, we can sit down and meditate about these verses during the chanting. This is when I do it like after 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. I sit down and I am in the flow, and I take one verse and I try to meditate on that verse as good as I can at my stage. So this is such a wonderful recipe in this very troublesome time, to really sit down and focus on Nama-Bhajan and use the time, hear about Krishna and Radha. But mainly I made myself the vow that I really want to focus on Nama-Bhajan, because it has the most power. The mind can always go away when I read something, but when I chant it is, everything is there, the mouth, the ears, and the mind. It's for me, it's the most powerful thing to practice. This is only my experience, I can say. And I think, like, when I look outside, everyone is so much troubled and in fear, and I can understand it, and I'm also like that, but I want to be in a different consciousness. Therefore I said to myself, after now, like, when school closed and I'm home, I want to go into meditation every morning and stop being connected to the outside world via mobile instruments, phones, etc. And only after a nice morning bhajan with deep focus on Nam Bhajan, I check and then I stop it again. We cannot let ourselves be captured by fear the whole day. So whenever there is time, just sit down 10 minutes and chant one round, chant two round. You will see that it will really benefit very, very much. So that's what I wanted. This was what I wanted to share about the Nam Bhajan. You please try to focus on that, because this is the direct communication with Krishna and Radha, who always will protect us and who always will be with us in that way. Even in the mind we can chant during the day or remember. I'm not able to do it 24/7, but as much as possible. So we can do this. We can sit down in the morning and make a big foundation to strengthen ourselves in these really, really hard times. And so we can also be empathic to other person. We can develop all these qualities. The holy name is so powerful that he will always help us. He will always be there. It doesn't matter where you are. There are no restrictions. Wherever you are, he will be there. When we utter Krishna, Radha, this is not material names. These are really, really powerful names, and especially counteracting fear and bringing us happiness with our focus on that we want to one day be with them in our body, spiritual body, whatever that body may be for you. Meditate on that. Meditate on sambandha, on a relationship. Meditate on the goal that you want to be, in which way you want to be with Krishna. Do this when you chant the name. Come out from soul consciousness and go into Swarupa consciousness and identify yourself. Please, this is a very important point. Try to chant with identification. It will be much easier than in beginning is nice as a soul, but it's much easier to figure out what I want to be, what I be what I want to be, what is my identification. So this is very important, to sit down in the morning and think about that and go very, very deep into Nam Bhajan. This is, I realize, more than ever the most powerful means to counteract everything, and to not only counteract these things, just to achieve Swarupa Siddhi, to achieve that what we all want, that we want to be with Radha and Krishna, no matter what is your preferred rasa. For us who practice Manjari Bhav Sadhana, we try to read verses, to have good material to think about. We read one verse and we meditate upon this, and still we chant the holy name nicely in a flow and try to imagine ourselves there. There are so many beautiful verses in Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhi. Also we can sit down and we can read prayers of the Mahajans, like Narottam Das Thakur's Guru Vandan, for example. I love to sit down and meditate upon the verses. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati. Close your eyes and chant and meditate on Sri Guru, and so much mercy is flowing towards us when we do this. Or the prayers, my Gurudev said, prayers unshackle mercy. Prayers bring the mercy. The prayers bring us the mercy. It's not that we just sit down and chant. We have to have this energy of prayer, that we beg for something. It's not that we do something. We beg for something and we meditate on the spiritual things that it will happen to you when we go deep into Nam Bhajan. It will bring about the perfection, especially in this really, really turmoil time right now. For me, it's the only safe haven. Morning time is now reserved really even more for the chanting of the Nama-Bhajan, and I highly recommend just take time out of this business and sit down and try to chant the name with identification, with good identification. Please, this is so important, and it is also pleasing to Shri Radha and Krishna, because they want us that we have a relationship with them. We come out from soul consciousness. We understand now we are not this body. So what you want to be, and the holy name, like he said, it's a Chintamani. He will guide you and fulfill you the desire that you have a special relationship. In the case of your Gurudev gave you Siddha Pranali, he gave you already the spiritual identity, then kudos, then it's even better. So we have to sit down and use this most valuable information and identify us during Nama-Bhajan with this wonderful gift we received, especially now by Mahaprabhu. We can be so close to Srimati Radhika, who is the personification of love in a time of fear. So love always conquers fear. So when we see ourselves as really connected to Radhika, to Swamini, so she is full of love, and she can always build a big umbrella like on Raghunath Das Goswami, I think. So she is the one, Ladini Shakti. She is giving the bliss and the happiness, and fear will run away. So this is what we as Manjari Bhav Sadhakas, we try to do this. Imagine ourselves as Manjari. Sometimes you can imagine chant the Mahamantra for Radhika when she is in separation from Krishna. There are so many possibilities, but always it's the same. It is most beneficial and most powerful. This is what I wanted to share in this really good time for spiritual isolation. Like we are forced to isolate, so why not try to do it in the best way? Like I said, I cannot do it the whole day, but I try to do it as much and as deep as possible, and the result can be felt. You become more peaceful. I see it, neighbors and parents and in-laws. You see many people are now really bewildered by all that what is happening, but we as devotees have the chance and the gift from our Gurudev and from Mahaprabhu and Krishna and Radha that we can really anchor ourselves firmly in the morning hours, the most powerful hours, and to be really steady. We all have to live in this world for sure, but we can do the best from that by chanting the holy name. This is what little stuff I realized. The chanting of the holy name is the most powerful. Jai Shri Radhe.